Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back or welcome to my channel. I wanted to start this video off right now because I figured why not? I'm just laying on my floor reading my book, and as you can tell probably by the title, this video is reading until I get a 5-star read, which is a hefty chore. So let me just clarify a little bit. I would say I rate books pretty hard. Like, it is very hard for me to rate a book 5 stars. I'm a very honest rater. Getting a 5-star rating for me is not easy. Okay, I literally do not know how long this video is going to be. Like I said, this video ends when I get a 5-star read. That could be 2 books from now, or that could be 20 books from now. Like, a 5-star read for me is a book that literally like gives me the feeling of punching me in the face, and that doesn't happen often. With that being said, let's see how quick we can get a 5-star read. So to start off this video though, I decided I'm gonna read Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I've already started it. How far am I? I'm probably about like 25-ish, 30-ish% all the way through. I am on page 137, and so far I'm enjoying it. I definitely don't think this is going to be a 5-star read though, because the first book in this series, it's not really a series, it could be read as a standalone, but the first book is It Happened One Summer, and the first one I was not a big fan of. It was just like really like too much, and it was really cringy. People had said that they enjoyed Hook, Line, and Sinker better than the first one, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give Tessa Bailey another shot and just see, because her writing style isn't necessarily my favorite, at least from what I could tell from that first book, because that was the first book that I read by her. So far I am actually enjoying this a lot better. They met in the first book and they became friends. They're like still trying to convince themselves that they're really just friends with this person. That's a lot better of a storyline, because it's not just purely physical, it's a lot of, oh, I actually know this person and I actually genuinely enjoy who they are, and that's part of the reason why I'm attracted to them, you know? So that I do like a lot better in this one. I am gonna keep reading, and I will give you some updates, I guess, along the way. Maybe we're gonna keep on trekking. Hey guys, it's the next day, and I actually ended up finishing Hook, Line, and Sinker last night, and I always obviously end up updating after the fact. I don't ever end up updating as soon as I finish. I ended up liking this one more than the other one. I still didn't like it that much. I don't know, it's kind of weird, because like the whole premise of the book is like that he's basically like a player, but they're friends, but he likes her. So I'm like, bro, like, why are you being so annoying about it? Like, you like her and want to be with her. Like, I see your inner thoughts. Just be with her. You're just being a baby. You know what I mean? You know, and everyone like looks at him and sees him as a player. So he's like, oh, I'm not gonna be with her because everybody else thinks of me as this way. And it's just like, bro, why are you gonna prove them right? I did like it better though. I liked the storyline a little bit better, and I liked the premise of the character's situation better, essentially. Like, I liked the way that they got together compared to the first book. I think I'm gonna rate it like 3.25 stars. So like not much more than the other one. Those are like my thoughts currently on it. It was just like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just those things in the book where it was like, bro, why are you being so dumb? Like, just stop being an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't hard. It was like, dude, it's like, I can see your perspective and hers. I don't know why you're being stupid. Just be a man and tell her how you feel, first of all. And second of all, why are you gonna prove people right in like who you are? Because you know that's not who you are, and that's not what you want. That's just what you assume. That's all I have to say about this. So I finished this book, and now I have to pick a different one. 3.25 stars, so clearly not a 5-star read. I guess we'll just have to keep going till I get one, obviously, because that's the point of this video. You guys, obviously I'm still on the hunt for a 5-star read, because obviously my last book was not a 5 stars. So we're still on the hunt. We're still hoping for one. I have started reading my next book, and it is The Family Remains by Lucy Jewell. This is a sequel to The Family Upstairs, and I loved that book. That book was so good. That was, I think I rated it a 4.5 stars. This one, I love Lisa Jewell, okay? I love Lisa Jewell, and this one has potential to be a 5-star, but we'll see. Let me just give you a little backstory. I've talked about this book, about like wanting to read it and stuff like that in a few videos, and I think I'm just stupid. Because I literally in every single video was like confused because I was like, but this doesn't follow the same people. And I'm like, as I started reading it, and I'm like, I'm stupid. Because yes, it does. It follows the same exact family, basically right where it left off. So I literally just like forgot all of the main characters' names and just like was like, oh, this follows different people. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It follows the same family. It's added a few new characters and a character from the last book you're getting a little bit more depth into because there's multiple timelines, but it's super easy to follow because currently all of those characters are really only in one specific timeline that you have to really account for. And plus it says the years of when this takes place. There's just one new character that's been added. And then there's like this new twist, a new aspect to the book as well. But yeah, so I'm currently reading this and it's, so far, it's very good. Like she's doing a lot of like build up to things right now. So it's still following basically some of the characters right from where they left off in the last book. And then you're also, like I said, getting a little bit more background for another character or the 2 other characters that were in the last book. You're getting a little bit more background into them. So their timeline is taking place like a few years prior. And I don't know how they're all gonna like, now that I think about it, I don't know how it's all gonna come together. Because I'm kind of wondering what she's doing with this one timeline. I mean, like, I know, like, kind of, but, like, I don't. Just due to the last book. And I don't want to say anything because then it'll be spoilers for you. Either way, I'm enjoying this book. I think so far that it's really good. I basically am, like, 100 pages in. It's going really well. Like I said, has the potential to be a 5-star read. The potential. Honestly, I don't know how I feel, though, because, like, getting a 5 stars on the second book, and I had to have known that picking this book up because I love Lisa Jewell and like I know all of her books are very good and that I love them and more inclined to rate them highly just because I love Lisa Jewell. So I guess we'll see what happens because the twists in the last or the first book in this series were very good. I'm gonna get to reading now, okay? So you don't have to listen to me ramble on any longer. Well, I just finished this book, so that's cool. I liked it, but I don't know how I feel. Like, it was very good, I will say. Like, that is for certain. I will say that it was very good. Almost unnecessary. Considering this was the second book, there was so much information that I already had. There was no, like, really surprising, shocking twists in it. So like that's kind of disappointing. But overall I did like it. Unfortunately, it is not a 5-star read, which is very sad. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be a 5-star read. Like about 30% into the book, like something had happened where I was like, oh, I kind of know how this is going to end. And granted, I was wrong. That's not how it ended. But still, I was like, oh, like I, as the reader who read the first book, already had so much information that like there was nothing surprising, like I said before, in this book. So that's kind of disappointing. I still liked the book. It was still good. And I do suggest reading it if you want like a nice, fun, little interesting read. I wouldn't even consider this a thriller. There's definitely some things that like make you like second guess what you're thinking, but like not really. Like, because like I said, you just have so much information from the first book, it almost gives everything away in a sense, because you already as the reader have so much more knowledge than the characters in the book do. But I'm still gonna give this a 4 stars, honestly, because it was really good. It was still a really good read, and like the writing is so good. Like I love Lisa Jewell. Nothing really shocked me. There was no like new information that I really didn't know. 4 stars for The Family Remains. And now we have to pick another book, but I'm not going to do that now. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow to pick another book, and hopefully it's a 5-star read, because this will be going on book 3. I would kind of like to get a 5-star read quicker, you know? Because I haven't had one in a while. I don't think I've had one. Well, okay, that's a lie. I think I had one in June, when I read the cheat sheet. I'll have to pick a different book, obviously, tomorrow. Hello, guys. Please ignore my appearance. Michael and I are gonna go to the beach. I don't need to look pretty to go to the beach. I need to pick another book, but I am actually in the middle of one on my phone. I'm reading it on my Kindle app, and it's called The Wrong Mr. Right. And it's a really cute little like small town romance. Like, he's a surfer and owns a surf shop, and she loves books and owns a bookstore. And it's just like this cute little like romance. And it's one of those romances that make you feel really like giddy while you're reading it. Not that it's like the best thing I've ever read, but it's still very good. I don't know if it's gonna be a 5 stars though. Like, I really don't know, and that worries me, because that will be another book that is still not a 5 stars for this video. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am not the one to usually read 2 books at once. Like, just mentally in my brain, I just like can't do that, because like part of me is like already addicted to this book that I'm reading right now, and I just want to finish it. But, and here's the thing, this is why I'm gonna read 2 books at once, because with this next book, it's gonna I pray that is gonna be a 5 stars. Honestly, I think it's just going to emotionally destroy me. Gonna need something light and fluffy, like this book I'm currently reading, afterwards. So I decided I'm gonna try The Way I Used to Be. Everybody talks about this book, and everybody raves about it, and everybody talks about how sad it is. Last time I read a sad book, I was emo for a whole month, and I just can't have that. So I'm gonna read this one, and if it emotionally destroys me, you know, it's fine. It happens. But I'm gonna have this really light, fluffy read to come back to, or read simultaneously. So yeah, and also I just found out that there's like a companion novel coming out for this book very, very shortly, and I wanted to read it before the companion novel comes out, because if I really, really like it and it is a 5 stars, I'm obviously gonna want to read the companion novel. Next book is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I know vaguely what this story's about, but I kind of want to go into it blind. I know there's like a lot of like trigger warnings, and that if you're someone who wants to read this book, definitely look up the triggers beforehand. The Way I Used to Be is the next book, and I will probably go back and forth between The Way I Used to Be and Wrong Mr. Right, I think it's called. Yeah, The Wrong Mr. Right. This is on Kindle Unlimited, by the way. So if you wanted to read this, if I really like it, or if you want like another summery, fluffy read, like this is a cute little summer book, and you should read that too. But I always sit and film in the same exact spots when I film all my clips, but I am 150 pages into this book, and let me tell you right off the bat, right, like first chapter, first page, she like rips your heart out, like rips into your system and like tears you apart. And it's not, I don't want to say god awful, feeling is so weird, because I physically, while reading this book, and I could not put it down last night, like I was up really late reading it, physically, like I hurt for Eden, who's the main character in this book. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it like literally like feels like being stabbed over and over again, feeling so helpless and wanting everything for her to get better, because it's no secret that, because it says right on the back of the book, her best friend's brother ends up sexually assaulting her. Like basically the entire book is like seeing how she progresses to cope with what's happened to her, and like really trying to become a person who is the same but also different, and not that same person who was assaulted by her brother's best friend. It's I'm not doing a good job at all describing it, but like reading it is just like pulling on my heart, like pulling on my heartstrings, because it's so heartbreaking. And there was one part in the book already where I was like, I wasn't crying, but I was like tears welling up in my eyes, just because like reading it was so sad, like the way that she was taken advantage of. Now there's no like graphic scene in here, just so you're aware. It's all basically just like memories that she's kind of like describing, but nothing is like super graphic or intense. There's that. So if that's something you're worried about, don't worry about it, because, well, so far, so like I said, 150 pages in, I'll let you know if anything else happens, but I don't think there really will be. I just know that like throughout the book, she kind of like memories like flash back to her of like that night. Yeah, this book really just sees like the way someone can struggle after that. And like I said, I'm only 150 pages in. Like that's crazy. Like, and I'm just gonna fly through this. I already am flying through it. So let's continue to see how it goes. Let me just go get my heart ripped out of me again. Part in the book where she kind of has a boyfriend, but obviously with the whole situation that's happened, it's like really hard for her to actually want to be in a relationship. And it's so weird because I actually really feel for her, but I also really feel for her boyfriend. She's actually like so mean to him, but like she just like can't help it. And it's because you can see her thoughts and like why she's acting that way, and like she doesn't even know why she's so mean to him. And like it's so weird to see, because in a book usually where a girl would be like mean to the guy or like vice versa, I wouldn't be like rooting for them in a way. But like when you see her inner thoughts based off of everything that's happened, like it's so easy to feel so sorry for both of them, because he really cares about her and she does care about him. It's just that she just doesn't want to get hurt and she doesn't want to feel that way again. And I just feel so bad because she is so mean to him, that like you know why she's so mean to him when you see her inner thoughts, but like it's so weird that she doesn't know why she's so mean to him. Like she just can't understand or cope with what's happened, so like that's just like her immediate response. He like is so into her and like so wants to be with her, and like any normal guy would just be like done with all the bullshit that she's done. I don't know, this book is making me feel a lot of things, like things that it's like I just kind of like I really just can't relate to, because it's never something I've been through. So yeah. I want to talk about, because I literally finished this book last night. And when I tell you, this book literally put me on such an emotional train, I'm not lying. It was very good. I cried. I took a picture, I put it on my Insta story. You can see right here. I'll put a picture of it. Oh my God, it was just so heartbreaking. So basically, let me just talk about the book a little bit, even though I know I've already talked about it. So Eden's assaulted by her best friend's brother. No, her brother's best friend. There we go. Her brother's best friend. And she's really young when this happened. So basically it like takes away all of her self-worth and her self-meaning for herself, or everything that she used to know of who she was, because of this one horrible traumatic event that happened to her. So basically the book then follows Eden throughout high school, her downward spiral of trying to get as far away from the person she was when that happened to her as possible, because she wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't want that to ever happen to her again. And she wants to have control over her own life, and essentially she's just trying to find that control. So the book deals a lot with like coping with what's happened to you, or like the way she's attempting to cope, because she's not coping because she didn't tell anybody. So yeah, it's so heartbreaking. And when I tell you, I was crying like I was I was crying, like I said, 6 times. So just like, obviously, trigger warnings. There's a lot of things that go on within this book. I felt so much stress and anxiety for the character. Like, there was times where I was reading and I literally, my heart was pounding and like, I was so nervous and like I was shaking. I almost like felt like I was living in this situation with her. Like, Amber Smith, I thought, did a very great job writing it. Just stabbed me in the gut, twisted the knife multiple times. Painful. That's what this book did to me. So there were so many times, like I said, that like I was like, my heart was beating so fast because of how anxious and nervous I was for her, like experiencing this with her. And it was crazy feeling that way, okay? That book has never made me do that. Ever. I just want y'all to know that this book is truly something and is written, I feel like, so amazingly. But the whole point of this clip was me to tell you that this is a 5-star read and we have finally found our 5-star book. A book that literally like guts you and cuts you open and tears your heart into 2. I don't know how it wouldn't get 5 stars. I'm also excited though because Amber Smith has written another book that's coming out, I'm pretty sure in November, which is the second book to this one, and it's The Way I Am Now. And I know that story follows Eden going into college, finally getting that second chance with her high school boyfriend while the trial for her assaulter is going on. I think it's gonna take things to a whole different level of having to relive so many horrible memories. Like I said, this is a 5-star read, so please, I highly recommend you go get this and read it. But on a happier note, for this video though, what I'm also gonna do is I'm also going to finish the other book that I was reading on my phone, which was a Kindle Unlimited book, because I actually started that one before I started The Way I Used to Be, which I finished in a day. But I wanted something like, if I needed to take a break, to have something light and fluffy. And actually, after I finished that book last night, like I literally laid in bed for like 30 minutes and I couldn't go to sleep because of the way I was thinking about it. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm so sad for her and I literally can't believe she had to go through that. And I was going down a downward spiral. And so I had to like pick up this book again because this one is so light and fluffy and like very spicy. Okay, let me just say that right there. So I needed something that was gonna be like just empty-brained reading. So I'm gonna finish this book for this video as well. I'm 85% of the way through, so I'm literally almost done with it. Then I'll tell you my rating for that. Truthfully, do I think it's gonna be a 5-star read? I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know. Like, just the way it makes me feel, like the characters just make me feel so goofy and giddy that I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe it will be a 5-star read just because, you know, like it's goofy, giddy. I don't know if I talked about what this book's about. I think I have, but I'll say it again. So, like I said, 2 main characters, Wyatt and Hannah. Wyatt owns a surf shop and he's trying to go be a pro surfer, you know, and it's also a small tone romance. Keep that in mind. Hannah owns a bookstore and loves books. So they've always known each other, but they were never like really friends. Now they're kind of friends because this is actually a second book in a whole series. It's called the Queen's Cove series, I'm pretty sure. And then the first one follows Wyatt's brother and Hannah's best friend Avery. So you kind of get a glimpse of them in that first book, but I didn't read the first book. I just know you get a glimpse because they've mentioned it in the book, if that makes sense. Hannah like thinks of herself as this like quiet, meek, like nerdy little girl, and she's gonna turn like 30 soon, right? So she's kind of like panicking because she wants to get married and have kids and everything like that. She wants to find a boyfriend. She goes to Wyatt because she's always had a crush on Wyatt, but it was more of like, Wyatt is a player, right? So he just like sleeps around and like doesn't do anything serious. He's just casual. And so since she knows him and they're like kind of friends, she's just like, hey, I want you to teach me how to be a hot girl. I think this book was written during that like hot girl era, like on my hot girl walk. I'm not sure. I did not look. She's like, so I want you to teach me how to be a hot girl. And he's like, why? She goes, because you sleep with and date around with a lot of hot girls, so you know what it takes. Basically, that's what happens. And part of the whole arrangement, she has to come with him and surf. Like, so he gives her surf lessons. And basically that's like a good sum up to the beginning of like what happens, obviously, because it's a romance. I hope that helped. Was that anywhere interesting? But like I said, I'm gonna finish this book. I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now though, because I kind of actually have stuff to do. So here we are. Okay, cool. I just finished the Wrong Mr. Right, and okay, so see like this cover? That is literally what made me want to read this. I was like, because also it's like a summer read. It takes place in summer and they're surfing. Perfect, honestly. And they're like a gorgeous couple. I mean, granted, they're drawn, they're not real people. They're such a gorgeous couple. Oh my gosh. Like, no wonder why he's in love with her. There's also a bonus scene that when you finish it on Kindle, it like will be like, oh, you can go see Stephanie Archer's like bonus scene for the book. And then the rest of the series also has bonus scenes. Look at that. So if you want to read this series, you can. It was very good. I already talked about what it was about, so I'm not going to talk about it again because I went on a big old explanation. But it was good. I liked it. I thought it was fun and it was so spicy, and I don't have anything else to say. I think I'm going to give it a 4 stars, honestly. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars because I don't know if it like deserves a 5 stars because like, you know, like I really did enjoy it. And this one was great and I really, really loved it and I really enjoyed it. But I think this one's a 4 stars. But good thing we already found our 5-star book because otherwise I would have to keep reading. Jump scare. Anyways, I was just editing this video and I realized at this point that I never finished it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope that you enjoyed watching this video and that you read some of the books that I read because I definitely enjoyed them and I think you will too. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias as well as subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.